Francis Cardona. VP for Television, Ms. Chinky De Castro Alcedo. VP for Radio, Mr. Dan Andrew Pura. Other members of the KBP Board of Directors, KBP Standards Authority Chairman Diana Gozon, KBP Standards Authority Directors, KBP National Chapter Leaders, the provincial frontliners, guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Since I began serving as your Vice President on June 30, my team and I have held office in the most unusual of places. There are times when you would find us trekking on steep hillside terrain, traversing muddy paths for hours, just to reach the most unheard of barangays in the countryside. Ours is the most unusual of office setups. We've had boats as chairs, the sky as our timekeeper, and constituents as our direct bosses. Perhaps some of you would think how exciting these visits would turn out to be. Ang sabi nga po ng iba pag nakikita ako, aba namamasyal na naman yung ating VP. Photo ops lang lahat. But this is the reality we have to face. Poverty has long mired many of our countrymen in deep pain and hopelessness. Our weekly provincial visits have shown us that public service is not all glamour and glitter. To genuinely understand what works best, we must be willing to get our hands dirty and expect the worst. And this we have seen, felt, heard, and touched, close at hand in many of our provincial trips. Our countrymen do not have toilets and potable water. They have to rush to the next barangay, sometimes to the next town, to find a doctor for a sick child. Some of us worry when the schools of our children have no air conditioning. Out there, they have no walls, no roofs, no chairs. Ito po ang uwi at daladala kong mga kwento mula sa aking mga paglalakbay sa laylayan ng ating lipunan. Poverty is neither entertaining nor romantic. It is harsh. It evokes anger and frustration. It is not an easy thing to address. But this work is not impossible to move forward, especially if we are working well with sectors like yours. For many years now, broadcast media has proven to be one of the most effective means of reaching out to the farthest corners of our country. By turning on a television or radio, millions of Filipinos are provided with an instant platform where news is shared, opinions are heard, and fresh ideas are constantly explored. Radio and television are still the most powerful media in the far-flung areas we have visited. In most cases, it is the only window to what is happening in our country. But despite the information and entertainment these devices bring, one question still lingers. Have we done enough to help uplift those who have less in life? If we have, why is there still isolation and exclusion despite growing connectivity? As broadcasting shifts into a multi-platform that engages the public through the internet, mobile, and social media, may we remember the crucial role it plays not just in sustaining democracy, but also in promoting development in the fringes of our society. Media, as the fourth estate in Asia's oldest democracy, holds a revered place in our political economy. It thrives in its independence, seen as a crucial sign that democracy is still strong in our country. But it can do more than just relay independent information. I would like to see it contribute more in pushing for better laws and policies that promote inclusive growth. I would love to see it become an effective vehicle in shaping political opinion and raising public awareness about long-standing issues that need to be prioritized by our government. As you revisit the critical role that broadcast media plays in shaping trends, behavior, and worldviews, let us not forget the urgency of uplifting the lives of the ordinary Filipino. You are in a powerful position to give them access to the most useful and critical information. Responsible information dissemination and effective communication will enhance and deepen the people's capacity to participate in governance. Maybe it is time to change our perspective. For the longest time, issues that beset our poor have always been presented as an insurmountable task that solely belongs to government. This should not always be the case. This is precisely the kind of mindset that we are trying to change in the office of the Vice President. Paniniwala po namin pag nagtutulungan tayo, ang imposible ay parating magiging posible. We at the office of the Vice President understand that by encouraging renewed confidence on the prospects and potential of collaborative action, we will finally succeed in reducing the number of poor families in our country. It is time to stop looking at poverty as a problem itself, but instead see it as an opportunity to be critical of long-standing processes and introduce lasting solutions. But where do we begin? Our office started taking weekly trips to the farthest and the poorest barangays right after the inauguration. Those trips have not only been eye-opening, but also life-changing for each and every one of us. And I urge everyone to go out of our air-conditioned boardrooms, our offices, fold our pants and sleeves, and immerse in the lives of our countrymen. Let us listen where the voices of dismay and disappointment are coming from. They are critical in understanding what needs to be done. Amplify the voice of the weak and the powerless. Empower them by echoing their sentiments. Join them in engaging their local government officials. Keep in mind that media has the power to influence attitudes, opinions, and behaviors. It shapes culture and inspires new movements. Instead of creating more doubt in our institutions, let us use television and radio as a vehicle to demand for good governance, transparency, and greater accountability. Instead of inducing people to anger and sowing dissatisfaction, let us use our resources to cultivate effective dialogue and constructive criticism. Instead of harboring hateful and foul language, let us call for measures that uphold due process in prosecuting corruption charges and other crimes. Keep in mind that democracy should not just be a buzzword, another pitch or part of another day's headline. Genuine democracy can only be achieved if everyone is given the equal opportunity to achieve his dreams, regardless of class, gender, or ethnicity. Being watchdogs that closely monitor the activities of the state, let us challenge each other to carve out better paths to bring us together as one nation. Now is the time to give broadcast media a new voice. Let us be responsive, not divisive. Uphold ethics, especially in the young ones. The very nature of media is changing as netizens find Facebook, blogs, and websites to be effective alternative sources of news instead of newspapers and other traditional media. And yet, the purpose remains the same. Information is meant to uplift lives more than anything else. Being a champion of democracy in this age means constantly engaging oneself in free, open, and transformative discourse. This is the only way to fully embrace the kind of change we dream of. From the playing of the national anthem at daybreak until the late airing of public service programs during the wee hours, broadcast media is indeed teeming with opportunities to constantly bridge the state with its citizens. So may you continue to encourage Filipinos to play an active role in dreaming of a better Philippines. Congratulations to everyone and thank you for having me this morning. Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga muli sa inyong lahat.
Thank you.